Hi, I'm here with Jeremy Logan of JP Logan Properties, and we're now looking round a property that he's potentially going to buy. So this is one house that's been split into two flats. So we'll take a quick look around now. Hi, so we're here in the kitchen. The postman's been quite busy here, lots of mail. So this property is definitely going to need quite a lot doing to it. We've no idea what sins all this cladding's hiding. But I suspect that there's a lot of bad plaster work. So moving through. Ooh, we've got a cellar down there, so we'll take a look into that. We've got a light. Has it got a light? Oh, no light for the cellar. So we'll get a torch. So then this comes into the living room, bedroom. Again, some more cladding, which I strongly suspect hide some sins. The kind of stuff that was done in the 70s and 80s. So now we're coming through the bathroom, where the shower once was, into next door. And again, postman struggling to get the post through the door. So we've got one small bedroom. So it's on electric heating, so would you be looking to change that to wet heating? More cladding in the living room. And then we have the small kitchen. Again, needing completely refurbishing. And then what else have we got? And then we have the bathroom with more plastic cladding. Yeah, I think you're going to need a bit of work doing here, Jeremy.
I know, yeah, definitely. It needs everything doing, yeah, full refurb.
Yeah. So, do you know what the EPC is on this property?
I have got it written down. I think it could be a D. One's a D and one's an E. I'm not sure, you know.
So at the moment it's just lettable. But while you're doing, if you're going to be replastering, there's the opportunity to insulate the external walls, isn't there?
Yeah, and to get to a C.
So that's an outside wall. Is that an outside wall?
Yes. There's a passage, I believe.
So that's so that'll be an internal wall upstairs, then, won't it?
Yeah.
So following on from visiting Jeremy's property, or the property he's going to buy, I'll show you this. So this is some insulated plasterboard that I've used in the bathroom of this house that I'm renovating. In this one I've only done the bathroom because I'm only fully renovating the bathroom. So I'll show you what I have upstairs now. So what I've done here, I've attached the insulated plasterboard to the wall using a dot and dab system. But then I've also put in some mechanical fixings just as an extra precaution, and it is a British Gypsum recommendation. So as you can see, I've squared off the reveals. So again, the reveals are fully insulated as well. So, you know, this will help with the EPC. It'll also help reduce condensation. And then at a later date, when I do further renovations to the property, you know, I'll insulate the other walls as well. But for now, it's just the bathroom. So that was a good viewing today, going around that property with Jeremy. And we were able to bounce a few ideas off each other. And when we're looking at properties like that, we're actually looking on how we can help the owners, because in that situation, the vendor has inherited the properties. The properties need quite a lot of work. Quite possibly for a first-time buyer would probably struggle to get a mortgage on those properties. So they need people like us that can go in, find creative solutions on how to deal with their problems, and then get those properties either let out or back on the market. Now, that particular property has been sat empty for over 2 years, and it's been getting worse and worse and worse, decaying, but there is potential there. So there's many different ways we can help the vendor either make that property a saleable property, or maybe take over the property completely and let it out ourselves. But before we know what we're going to do, we need to work out the costings, what it will cost to get it to a good standard, and then we can go back to the vendor with an offer that will hopefully work. But until we've worked out our costs, we don't know what we can offer the vendor. So things that we've noted that definitely need doing. Currently, the electrics for both flats are on the same electric supply, so it's not being properly split. There's no gas supply to the property, so the heating is all on just ordinary electric convection heaters, which will cost an absolute fortune to run. So what we're going to look at initially is, we know there is a gas supply fairly near, so we're going to make inquiries to find out how much it's going to cost to get the gas in, and then we're going to need to get an electrician in and the local electric supplier, so that we can have a split supply, so that then the flats can become truly independent. Now, a couple of things that we definitely need to also consider is it's got a very poor EPC, and some of that will be due to the type of radiators that it's got and the insulation values. But as we're expecting to do a lot of plastering, now is the perfect time to do an internal insulation. Because of the age of the building, I expect probably late 1800s, 1880, 1890, something like that. Even if there is a cavity, it's probably not a cavity that's suitable for insulation, because during that period they used to build with through stones, and you tend to get cold bridging wherever there's a through stone. So my recommendation there would be internally insulate with as thick insulation as you possibly can without affecting the room size. Now, one of the other things we looked at was on the ground floor flat is the kitchen is really, really awkward. Very, very narrow in between, a galley kitchen. So my proposal with that kitchen was, when we start again, that one we'll need to put the minimum amount of insulation we can get away with, not to lose space in the kitchen. But once we have insulated it, on one wall, rather than using base units, use wall units at low level and then cut a worktop down, which will give the feeling of a lot more space in the room, but you'll still have some cupboard space, so that will improve the circulation. And then the other side, we'll have to put full-size units in order to be able to get cookers and appliances in. And again, another area where we found that we can again make the kitchen a little bit more user-friendly is down in the basement. It's relatively dry, so we can do a simple tanking system, and we can create basically a utility down in the basement, so that you've got your washing machine and possibly a dryer down there, which again makes the kitchen much more usable as a kitchen. So we'll be reporting back if Jeremy makes an offer on those properties. We'll go back, we'll see what the deal is, and we'll report back.